You have 10 minutes to start your discussion, and you may start now.
Let's get started.
Let's get
As
started.
Have a discussion on the kinds of charity work our schools could be involved in. So let's start with the benefits of students doing charity work outside Hong Kong. So from my personal perspective, I think to doing charity work outside Hong Kong can broaden their horizons, because most of the time the charity work that Hong Kong students did is to visit elderly house and like take care of the elderly or show some performance to the elderly, which is because Hong Kong always pay their attention towards elderly. But if they have going to have the charity work in America, they almost visit jail. Why? It's because America, they put their eyes on, or they often put their eyes on the criminal, because some of the charity works that provides to the schools that in America, they are going to visit the jail and cook a meal for them, because American governments believe that they can those students can use love and to determinations and change those criminal to help them to get into a right channel. Besides broaden their horizons, what are the benefits that you can think about?
Exactly. I think your insights of getting a broadening your horizon by adapting to a different culture, like you said, the jail activities in America can certainly broaden these students' horizons by participating in charity work in different countries. And I think the equally is important is that you can facilitate all-round development of students. By participating in activities in other countries, students get to the chance to travel to other countries and adapt to the environment around them. And this leads to an upside for them to develop a life skills of taking care of themselves. And according to interviews by Doctors Without Borders, volunteers in other countries claims that they has gained more interest in the medical sector and also voluntary activities, which sheds light on the successful case of all-round developments by traveling into different countries for their charity work. And what do you think is the other upsides?
Well, I think it's true that broadening horizons and also enhancing all-round developments are both significant benefits for having charity work outside Hong Kong, because, for example, they can have a deeper understanding of different cultures in those countries. And it's more significant because in Hong Kong, we are held as a cosmopolitan city, and although we're having like so-called cultural mosaic, but like, for example, the cultural puzzles making up the Hong Kong culture. But I think it's also rare to see those poverty, the plights that are faced by the people in the third world. And this can be achieved by allowing the students to do charity work outside Hong Kong. And according to research from the Community Youth Club, it shows that 90% of the people actually value more about what they have after visiting those third world countries. So this is one of the major benefits for having charity work in the foreign. What do you all think?
I agree with. I appreciate your ideas about having volunteers work outside Hong Kong. Certainly make them understand what to appreciate what they have is precious now. And it is because that places unlike there are a lot of places unlike Hong Kong. We have so much. We have our life very comfortable, and we don't have we don't receive difficulties. For example, the natural disaster, a war or hungers. Having volunteers work at those places could help our students to develop empathies and eagerness to contribute to our societies.
About the empathy or the cultures, I think we have covered most of the point on this topic. Let's move on to the culture of doing the charity work outside Hong Kong. I think first of all, we need to concern about about the dangers because, for example, going some places who are not developed well, maybe have some dangers for them to go to those places for the secondary students. Do you agree, my dears?
And I'm glad that I have the same opinion with you about most of the parents, they may concerned about the safety problems, which they may afraid about the flight accidents because they have to travel overseas by taking flights or taking airplanes. And they may afraid that travel overseas, then those parents, they cannot take care of their children, and they may sometimes put their child's life in jeopardy. So in this case, to avoid to avoid these problems, we can hire some, or we can cooperate with some social workers or enhance some numbers of teachers so as to protect their children's life, or we can help them to purchase to buy our insurance so as to protect students' lives. But I think it is rare for children to travel overseas to broaden their horizons by taking the charity from
outside.
Indeed, I think your points on the safety concern is particularly interesting, and I think Harold's insights in the wars that we may face in participating in charity activities is especially interesting, as which leads us to concern is the safety concerns, like Venus said, we have to travel to third world countries like Lebanon and also Nigeria, which have high crime rates, and also there has been a continuous increase in the assistance needed for the police forces from overseas voluntary due to the safety concerns arise in the course of these charity activities. And this just sheds light on the huge concerns in such areas. And do you believe safety concerns is one of the concerns?
Well, I think that is true, as safety concern will always be one of the major concerns when we're talking about going to the maybe the third world to do this charity work. And however, I'm not quite sure about the flight, the aeroplane problem when you're talking about the traveling safety, because if you're talking about that, then it will even traveling in vacation will not be recommended, as you also need to do that in those kind of vacation flying. So I think more importantly, it's about the belongings. You will always lose your belongings in the third world or in the foreign countries, because from a recent study from a research from the police force, it also mentioned that there were 12,000 cases about losing their belongings for Hong Kong people in the outside world, and in a foreign country, the security level is not even that advanced for those police force. So that will be my major concern about this question. And what about you?
I appreciate your your contributions to the discussions. Apart from the safety concerns of students themselves, I want to add upon that having volunteers work outside Hong Kong may make adverse effect on the local environment. As we all know, the over-tourism is a major concern nowadays. According to a research conducted by the Wall Street Journal, majorities of local residents show their disappointed and dissatisfied of other tourism has affect the local environment. For example, in places like East Europe or Italy, this landscape may be destroyed because of so much people just go there to having volunteering job.
I'm really intrigued by the insights in the over-tourism that in Europe, but I would like to clarify that Europe is not the most high demand in country in terms of charity work, which I don't think your points is that convincing. And as time is running short, let's move on to talking about whether this should be a requirement for Hong Kong students. And I think this shouldn't be the requirements for Hong Kong students because, first of all, students may not want to travel to overseas countries due to their weak ability to adapting to the environment. And with terms like the snowflakes and strawberries generation described upon the Generation Z, this just lies with the prevalence of parents. They lack the ability to adapt to a new environment by traveling to different countries, which impedes their motivation in traveling in them.
I got your point there. You think that it should not requirement to secondary school. From my view, doing a social charity work is for develop their empathy, and that we can just do a charity work. We can just do a charity work in Hong Kong is okay for this, fine for us to develop our empathies. Do you agree with my ideas?
Agree with your opinion. I don't think only a lot of the students in Hong Kong is possible because I think, nowadays, most of the children, they are being overprotected by their parents, their lack of experience and lack of being independently. So traveling overseas and have the charity work outside Hong Kong can change them to be more independent. And this can not only enhance the have and also help them to be more independent. So it seems times are running out. Let's keep our finger crossed to our next discussion. Thank you so much.
咗啦，係咪我冇計時啊？咪係咪完咗啦？
係完啦。
講完，good，幾好啊，幾好啊！我想咁開心你哋，好好啊！應該係我哋咁多個 discussion 裏面最好嘅一個啦，即係你聽阿 Harold 最犀利啦 ，Harold 同 Rex 啦可以即係嚟得最多。我覺得今次係一個果然，即係我哋人就係要明唔明啊？就係 last minute 先死，要知死就知驚㗎啦，係咪？一日好過一日，真係好好啊！俾掌聲。即係我想今日又聽嗰啲都發達啦，發達係咪？即係我想講有咩好？當然有好多位啦，係我發覺打喺 Zoom chat 度幾好，係有時我都會唔記得咗。咁你一路總之嗰啲 chat 唔使睇啦，因為你緊張係咩？跟住又知自己講錯講啱，有啲完晒先睇啦。同埋我都唔係針對一個人嘅，我都唔記得邊個打邊個。即係我講俾你知啊，咁樣你就舒服啲啦。即係唔係針對你咁？其實咧我覺得我 general 講，點解你哋咁好？你真係似係一個 interaction 咯，你呢個 feel 到啦，唔係4條友喺度，你自己話5個人喺度自己講嘢。咁你哋係好彩啦，因為你5個都係即係叫做又識考啦，係咪？跟住又識考又識配合啦。但係你記住係冇可能咁嘅，只係你好彩再講啊，即係冇可能會咁開心嘅。即係你唔好預咗今個情況，因為你一定會有一個 MIFI 啦，一個唔讀書，一個精彩班咧。即係正常 normal distribution 係咁噶嘛，你要記住。即係如果你睇下啲 WhatsApp group，你見到 IG 啊話咩好驚啊，開始識驚啊，你就知佢對手開始識驚，多謝晒啦，已經考緊啦。咁所以你要記住冇可能啊，即係冇可能今日會咁開心，除非你幫阿婆成日執產，我認真啊，真我唔知你哋邊個係做好人啊，做好事，冇可能。咁但係即係。建基於今日咁好嘅話，先講咗俾你知有咩好啦，好少讚你哋好啦。即係你首先起碼人哋講完一堆嘢，你會學識真係去第一，你一係就 elaborate 人哋嘅 point， 你話佢呢個 example 係點係咪？我諗到一個好嘅 example 係咪？即係話，譬如話 I can think of one of the examples which can add on your point 或者 which can further elaborate on your point。咁呢啲咪真係代表你有聽人講嘢咯，你先至會諗到一個 example 去 fit 人哋噶嘛。我再琴晚都好似講過啦，可能你冇聽我個 live 時間啦，咁鬼多嘢。咁總之個重點就係，如果你想估啲 MIFI 諗乜，睇個資料嗱，我從來都同你講唔睇噶嘛，因為我就係唔想你去到最後關頭先講。老實講，啲 MIFI 係讀資料噶啦，所以你可以，如果你需要預判，不過我覺得咁叻唔使預判啊，咪又係講嗰啲嘢係咪？一啲問題啊，仲一定係嗰啲咩can know more about 啊，咩 good communication skill 咧，傳佢啦。What do you mean communication skill？ 佢冇有邊個會識得講咩叫 communication skill 啊 ？Spencer 教嗰啲有嗰句唔講嗰句鬼識，佢咪就go to school by bus 咯，跟住死咗啦。即係其實都估到啦，你都估到佢諗啊，即係唔需要睇嘅。但係如果你唔係，真係要知道佢噏咪喎，你睇個資料得㗎，肯定就係照讀嗰啲資料㗎啦。咁所以我覺得呢個係我覺得你做得好好嘅地方啦。咁就係你識 disagree 啦。其實我唔 care，你老實講，你哋去到後期都係唔好介意啦。如果從一個好高級嘅角度，你根本係為 disagree 嘅。我唔知你哋覺唔覺得去到最後嗰一兩個根本唔係是但，我都是但你哋啦。但係我哋嘅 speaking 要求好低啦，作文真係唔得嘅，你哋係亂咁 disagree 人哋啦。即係你，我想話俾你知係好好笑。咁但係咧。 我到我開鏡頭啦，費事好似成日，因為我仲未行出門口啊。好啦，咁我好快嘅啫，我等過嚟。咁咧咁咧我就想同你哋講咧，就係即係呢個係你做得好嘅第一點。第二點咧就係我 feel 到大家係真係有溫書啦，係咪就嚟死嘅狀態？你起碼我聽完之後，你哋講嘅嘢啦，每一個都係有種專家嘅感覺，唔係淨係講一堆垃圾 idea 喺度講經，係咪？即係希望你醒啦。例如我記唔晒㗎，即老師都唔會記㗎。我想同你講，係得我會捉下 notes 啊咁樣。即係你會講到一啲譬如話年輕人係點啊 ，Strawberry Generations 啊，你講到其他嗱，我冇。我都有啲啦，瀏覽咩 Nigeria，我純粹聽講到其他國家嘅嘢，which 我覺得係好好嘅。起碼我唔知你講乜，但係我嘅感覺上你好似好勁咁樣講咗啲嘢。咁呢個就係我覺得大家都掌握到嘅地方咯。跟住第三，我覺得幾好嘅就係，起碼無論你哋真係似翻個討論啦，真係有唔同意啊，有轉 point 啊，你其實你五個人咁勁啊，即係我想講，如果你遇到啲勁人啊 clarify 咧，啱啱前日先同你溫完書，前同琴日係咪？你 clarify 如果去咗邊度，你問一問啦。Hello，係識拍醜嘅，做咩熄晒鏡頭？你一齊開翻鏡頭啦。
唔係我有嘢做啊，差唔多做。
我有嘢做啊，咁好啦，有嘢做，咁你就咁有嘢做，有嘢就搞，果然係精英。我既然係就做咧，我就全世界我俾掌聲。Harold 咧係唯一一個肯聽人講嘢嘅，因為咧首先你唔好介意啊，即係佢玩得起啦，佢剪咗個好好嘅頭髮，係啦，你介唔介意讓翻俾我哋睇啊？佢個頭，我覺得係非常之好嘅，你俾我哋睇下你個頭啦。嗱係啦，嗱呢個就係老師最中意呢啲，我當年真係咁，你睇下嗱，老師最中意，唔好笑，我哋 respect。肯定一定考得好，係啦，即係唔理你講乜啊，你哋呢個樣已經係老師最中意嗰個樣啦。嗱，Rex 你剪咗未啊？你個頭你幾時考啊？係嗱，我認真，如果你成日以為我吹水咧，冇噶，都係嗰句啦，係咪你決定嘅啫？咁所以而家 Venus 你睇太乖啦，嗱，你都會剪頭髮噶嘛，你自己決定啦，等等唔逼人嘅，係啊，你要唔要成績？你自己決定啦，我成日都講係你犧牲有幾大嘛，你就有咩嘅成果啦。咁所以我係好欣賞嘅，即係欣賞 Harold 咧係會聽人講嘢，係肯聽人講嘢，你已經贏咗噶啦。喺今年你呢個世代。跟住咧就所以我 Harold 係嗰個位咯。我覺得 Harold 咧講嘢咧要有翻少少力啊。我覺得你哋幾個咧，你問有力嘅咧，其實會係 Rex 同埋 Rex 咯 Venus 都有力嘅。即係你發覺咧，我唔知點樣形容啊！你有冇試過行路咧？好似飄下飄下咁樣，即係你有冇聽過女爵安唱？即係我個 friend 即係 Eden 啊，Eden 女爵嗰個安。其實你唔覺得佢唱嗱，唔好講俾佢知啊，佢實殺咗。你唔覺得佢唱歌成日都好似有冇聽過？好似成日佢唱 live 咧，佢好好嘅，好勤力。但係佢唱 live 成日好似遊走於即係走音同唔走音嘅邊緣。你聽唔聽我講咩？唔好講咩字啊，殺咗佢。即係佢成日都會，佢好勤力，係，但係成日俾你哋講英文嘅感覺啊，你成日就好似浮下浮下，即係好唔實啊。例如譬如 Harold 就係啦，即係因為玩得起我真係熟啦，我先講，即係 Harold 其實成日講英文就會有一種好似好唔實在嘅感覺。其實係有幾個原因導致到嘅。第一，你嘅心態上啦，你唔夠自信啦。你發覺 Rex 啊 Venus 嗰啲就死就死啦，我一齊死啦，咁樣一齊衝出嚟死啦。其實你就會有嗰種自信咯。等於我而家我都拋出嚟㗎，理得你點啊？你話我好樣衰係咪？好樣衰 live 嘅，琴日如果你有睇咪話好樣衰，冇樣衰咯。係啊，我就係咁樣衰啊，所以你咪咁中意 ugly 咯，咁樣 that's why 你咪真係考咩 ugly buildings 咯。即係我真係有呢種自信，我先至會咁實啫嘛。講嘢唔好學我講嘢咁快。咁所以我覺得其實你哋可以學習一下，譬如陣間再做啦。咁樣同埋擘大個口。其實你個口越擘大咧，阿 Harold 係咪走咗啦？佢係唔方便㗎啦？係咪換緊衫？
差唔多走。
你試下你擘大個口講嘢，即係雖然望唔到你個樣，你可唔可以好似咬住個蘋果咁樣？咪啊語言治療師真係做呢啲嘢㗎。我以前即係要去學，你可以擘大個口講嘢，即係 I go to school by bus。其實 Rex 係最好嘅，佢就最，但係 Rex 你嗰啲 fatal grammar 你太多啊，你可唔可以執一執你嗰啲 fatal 嘅 grammar？我盡啊，其實你執嗰啲都大多數都係嚟自你咩 they has 啊 ，let's move on to talking 啊，即係我今次真係唔係好忍得住，所以我先寫俾你睇。其實即係唔好太多。一兩個彈啦，當我聽唔到，咁樣咁多連續咁多咁樣，你改到噶嘛？係咪？你自我改得到啦。其實聽人都知自己錯啦，係咪？快啲 Harold，快啲擘大你個最大個口講 I go to school by bus 咁樣。
Go to school by bus。
係啊，就係咁啦。好似嗱，你唔好笑先。係啊，你可唔可以到時你練到將佢 apply 落去你嗰個？唔係，你唔好介意。你老師其實係好錫咩咧？其中一個好錫嘅就係 SEN。係咪先？即係 SEN，你唔好成日講 SEN 就一定唔好啦。其實 SEN 可以係天才嚟㗎，即係你知道 SEN 好多都係全級第一二都係 SEN 嚟㗎。你應該知，好多醫生都係 SEN 㗎。咁所以你咪做呢隻成日笑好似 SEN 咁嘅講嘢，咁咪啱啦，咪唔升咯。佢唔能夠咁講，因為咁講就會又比教育局告啦。如果我學生你應該知啦，有啲佢唔能夠咁講。咁 我把口講咯。雖然我都受住教育局嘅規定，係我冇咁多啊嘛，你明唔明？佢真係有幾百條條例，我可能得2條咁樣，咁所以我咪我把口話俾你知，其實佢想要咩人咯，明唔明？所以 Harold 啱噶啦，你頭先嗰個擘大個口講每一樣嘢慢少少，其實就會即係好唔實啊！你平時講英文，我唔知你覺唔覺啦，踩緊鋼線咁啦，每一日都係。呢個就係我，即係其實Rosa Angus 都好啲，係啦 Angus 只要你個口再擘大啲，你就好似你一個 case 就好似咬緊香口膠咁樣咯，唔知你自己習慣嚟㗎，要練嘅，即係我而家同你講冇用嘅 comment is comment，你要做譬如咧，即係講10次，講5個鐘，冇咁多 total 講5個鐘啊，一係講唔到5個鐘，一係講2個鐘。係咁樣講到好似我咁咧，講到把聲沙就好大鑊噶啦。咁總之呢個係我聽埋 feedback。佢話 overall 你哋點樣做好啲咧？你 overall 其實咧，你去呢個咁嘅情景啦，即係死啦5個都咁犀利嘅話，我點樣去攞？你分咧，你可以整間 offline，我驚我唔記得啦。即係你可以 offline 再問我啊，what 就喺而家啦，而家好似好啲，或者有咩你 offline 問我攞分。你哋 overall 其他同學唔使驚啊，得唔得？你嘅對手冇可能咁勁噶，5個人。咁我想同你講咧，就會係即係我想同大家講咧，即係我哋陣間會再做啦，咁樣咁就係你應承我一樣嘢，就係你要去攞高分咧，你一定係唔使驚內容啦。第二樣嘢就係你透過互動啦，就算佢哋咁好都啦，我講咗好多次有冇 invite 人啦，下5個都咁勁喎，屈咯，得唔得？即係例如 what Harold 咯，佢好恰，唔好介意啊，佢好恰啫，OK，即係我玩得起，你咪屈咯。例如 Harold，candidate C，it seems that you are about to share something with us，咁樣你明唔明我講乜嘢？即係你大家明唔明？你屈佢咯，係我想講過，你可以屈一個 Miffy 出嚟噶嘛，係啊，你考試咁衰，咁有啲時候就要咁做噶啦。又或者你都 clarify 咧，如果你要我吹毛求疵係完全都冇做，你明知你5個對手嗱，講得難聽啲，可能嗱我講 Harold 啊，比較即係玩得起，我覺得佢唔會翻去喊啊。咁即係其實我覺得 Harold 個 case 咧，其實佢一定喺呢5個裏面弱啲噶，大家都知 natural ability 一定唔係最強嘅，即係講英文實力。咁佢要點啊？就要用啲旁門左道咯，得唔得？佢又唔用喎，即係譬如我係佢，我就會問啦。例如candidate C Rex 啦 ，What do you mean by strawberry generations? Can you elaborate a little bit more and give me a clear example? I guess that every one of us may not be very clear about that。我保證佢一定死咗 Rex 係咪？因為其實佢都唔識解，佢夾硬頭先有背書啫嘛。我叫佢再錯一個 rephrase 一次，佢就I think 其實根本就陷害緊佢。到時你要好掌握你一個情況 scenario 係點樣做噶嘛？你記住要笑口噬噬喎，得唔得？我好了解你哋懂嘢噶，講講下好似鬧其實你哋去到後期咧，嗰啲 disagree 啊，你自己寫低，你哋 disagree 好似鬧緊人咁咯，即係好似串緊人，即係 I am very different， 即係其實你俾我感覺係點啊？我贏咗啦咁樣，我明嘅，我都做過中學生，係咪？你好想我贏咗，你睇下我而家 disagree 你啊！內心入邊做，好冇？即係點樣可以唔好俾人感覺咧？我咪一個反面教材，講嘢又急又快，你咪成日覺得我鬧緊你咯？我根本就唔係，係咪？咁所以慢啲，同埋笑住。你見到我而家笑住已經好好多啦，係咪？笑住咁講，譬如 Rex 記住咯，係啦，要做好啲咁樣。好啦，我而家唔笑啦，記住咯，記住咯，快啲喎！咁好似鬧緊我咯，但係你明唔明？呢個就係個觀感嘅問題啊嘛，即係我識做，我唔想做啫，係咪？但係你可唔可以 show 俾人睇你有一種能力，係你識得點樣處世？DSE 就考緊呢樣嘢啦，即係我夠識做啦，係咪嗰啲恭恭敬敬嘅嘢？但我選擇唔做，因為我要趕時間啊嘛，各位同學仔係咪？咁所以你要 show 俾我睇有呢種考試就係要呢種能力。咁跟住嚟講 IG Live 都從來唔會講俾人知，因為呢個係你嘅殺手鐧。到當4-5個人都係咁咧 ，Spencer 就會退出補習界嘅，因為全世界都教到我唔需要教呢樣嘢，冇人教到嘛。你有講咩？咁我覺得呢個係頭先你夾硬要去揾你哋嘅 comment 啦，但係其實全部都做得好好。係咯，我呢個係我嘅 comments。嗱，有冇人想做另一 round 嘅？即係呢度，因為我咧我就再俾10分鐘做另一條噶啦。頭先未拋多2條出嚟。有嘅嚟，咁你唔介意就熄咗個鏡頭先，因為 IR 咧我可以轉頭再同你哋練。因為一次過做晒啲 interaction 先。同埋 RR 咧 ，in any very very bad case 你可以錄俾我嘛，但係 interaction 真係冇得錄啊嘛，所以我會寧願個 priority 擺咗，因為我係一個聰明人嚟噶嘛，你要做聰明人，聰明人就係要盡量喺最短嘅時間做最多嘢，所以係啦，所以有冇人想做 group interaction？ 開鏡頭，有冇第二 round？ 係啦。有你開鏡頭代表，因為一定要開鏡頭嘅，唔好介意。我哋有個 rule 啦，因為唔係咧係睇唔到你嗰啲面部表情啊嗰啲嘢咯，唔係我哋唔得閒去我諗呢組唔錄啦，係啦，即係因為。